Hey, Kamala, you glad that I got this bus? I think it'll be great to make tours around the entire nation. We will be like rock stars. Oh, yes, Joe. Yes, this will be absolutely perfect for our 2024 re-election campaign. But right now, I think it would be better if we, left the bus and actually went to the White House and did some work, okay? um, Joe, I don't know what's wrong with this door, but, it won't budge. Huh? What? Well, that can't be good. Oh, wait, I think I see Hunter out there. Hey, Hunter, come help us out. Hunter, open up the door. Come on, man. Don't just be laying there. Come on, Hunter. Oh, rats, he's high out of his mind. So, what do we do now? Because I really want to get out of here, as you can probably tell. Well, you know that this actual bus was bought when Donald Trump was president. So we're gonna have to talk to him. You're joking, right? I'm sorry, Kamala, but I'm not joking. Trump residents, this is Donald. Hey, Donald, it's your friend Joe Biden's husband. Well, Kamala and I are stuck in this bus, and, we're really struggling to get out. I was wondering if you could help us out. Wow, this is fantastic news. Best news of the day. Being president isn't really that easy, is it, Joe? You actually have to make deals with people and not waste America's money. Kamala, you have absolutely messed up the border. If only I would have built that wall. Hey, you listen here, mister. You better knock that off. And you actually better help us. Get out of this struggle bus. Wait, hold on, and let me guess. Hunter Biden is right outside the door high as a kite, isn't he? Yeah. Wow, that's funnier than Hunter Biden actually saying the N-word, which he did. Okay, Joe, I'm just gonna hang up now and, let you do your own thing, okay? Bye. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Kyle Dockery with the Dockery Docket. We are here with our very 70th episode of the Dockery Docket. I'm excited to be here, and I hope that you are excited to be here as well. So, when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris won the 2020 election, they probably thought that everything was going to be easy, wonderful, and a breeze. Everyone in the political world would just love them, and they wouldn't even have to campaign in 2024 because everyone in America just loved them because they were doing such a great job. However, there have been some issues that have been rising up in this still fresh administration, as these two, along with the Democratic Party, have been on the struggle bus. Now, I know what you're thinking. What is a struggle bus? Well, simply put, a struggle bus is a bus that people ride when they are continuously struggling with a certain task. The Urban Dictionary says that the tasks are simple, but I will make it more broad because I understand that being president can't be easy at all. Either way, the reason that these two are on the struggle bus is because there have been some situations that continue to haunt them both, which makes them realize that this job isn't very easy. We have a situation where nothing can be passed in Congress. The border is just getting worse, and please, for the sake of our eyes and sanity, take the phone away from Hunter Biden, okay? Let's get started by talking about why Joe Biden is on the struggle bus. As this one is actually very simple, as in the Senate, the Democrats have a very slim majority. As of right now, the Democrats have a one-seat lead as Kamala Harris is the tiebreaker, if there just so happens to be a tie. This can be very tough for the Democrats, as if one or two people in their party decide to flip and not vote with their party, then nothing will get done, and bills could just end up dying or clogging up the Senate. Now, this may sound like a situation that is very strange, as of course all the Democrats agree with each other, right? Well, not exactly, as there's one man and one woman on the Democratic side that are making things a little bit more difficult to help Joe Biden get bills passed in the Senate. This, of course, is Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, who are both Democrats but are running states that are more Republican-ish. Arizona, where Kyrsten Sinema actually is, just recently flipped from red to blue. And in West Virginia, where Joe Manchin is, that state has been red for a very, very long time. And for both of these senators, they have to appeal to their base, which is more red than other states like, say, New York or California. This is why they seem to be more centrist. and they don't bite for the Democrats' woke mumbo-jumbo. However, it's more than just the woke mumbo-jumbo that Manchin and Sinema don't bite on, as one of the biggest pieces of legislation that neither of these Democrats will agree on is to eliminate the filibuster, which could really hurt the Democrats' chances of passing an infrastructure bill, immigration reform, changing the way that we vote, or taking away gun rights. As ever since Joe Biden was elected, the Democrats have continued to pressure the Senate to get rid of the filibuster. What is the filibuster? Well, it is a rule that makes it so a supermajority, meaning 60 votes, has to say yes to a bill before it can move on. Without the filibuster, the Democrats or the Republicans in the future would just need a majority of 50 votes to get different legislation passed. Meaning that if the filibuster were eliminated, then Joe Biden and also the Democrats could pass their woke legislation, because all they need is 50 votes plus Kamala Harris to break the tie. However, with the filibuster, the Democrats have to convince 10 Republicans to flip, meaning that both parties have to come together and negotiate different plans and make different deals with each other. So then, in the end, when the bill actually passes, everyone is happy. However, with the Senate being so divided right now, it's hard for anyone to flip anyone on any idea that they might not agree with. This means that the bill is dead and it won't pass at all, which could be a good thing if the bill wants to, say, give trillions of dollars to make a high-speed railroad system. Anyway, Joe Manchin defended his stance on the filibuster by attacking members of his own party, as he said some Democrats have attempted to demonize the filibuster and conveniently ignore how it has been critical to protecting the rights of Democrats in the past. Because that's what the filibuster is all about. It's about making sure that the minority party has a voice and not the majority party just continuously passing bills over and over and over again. And once again, Kyrsten Sinema is in the same exact boat as Joe Manchin, as she recently said in a statement, "To those who say that we must make a choice between the filibuster and X, I say this is a false choice. The reality is that when you have a system that is not working effectively, and I would think that most would agree that the Senate is not a particularly well-oiled machine, right? The way to fix that is to fix your behavior, not to eliminate the rules or change the rules, but to change the behavior." The reporter then asked if Kyrsten Sinema would ever change her mind on this filibuster idea, and she flat out said no. This means that ending the filibuster for the Democrats is not going to happen anytime soon, as they would probably need to have 60 votes to change that rule. However, the Democrats continue to attack the filibuster and claim that it is a relic of the Jim Crow era. As for the past year, the Democrats have continued to claim that the filibuster is racist and also upholds white supremacy, which means that, of course, it should be eliminated. So logically, if the filibuster is so evil and so racist and so terrible, this would mean that the Democrats have never used the filibuster at any time in their history. The Democrats wouldn't have used the filibuster to block Donald Trump from passing legislation, right? Wrong. As in 2020, just last year, the Democrats used the filibuster a total of 327 times, and the GOP only used it once. When Donald Trump was in office, the filibuster was the greatest thing ever, and now that Joe Biden is in office, it's racist and should be abolished. It is absolutely ridiculous and also hypocritical. Joe Biden even agreed that it was a Jim Crow relic and should be eliminated, even though in the past, he defended the filibuster. Now, to be honest with you, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that this also happened underneath Donald Trump. As when Donald Trump was in office, he tried to also get rid of the filibuster. However, when he proposed this to Mitch McConnell said no, because he knew the rules of the Senate and didn't want them to change. Now the Democrats are openly embracing this idea. That will never work, and it will make Joe Biden have to create bipartisan deals with both parties instead of passing a woke agenda, which puts him on the struggle bus. The next person on our struggle bus is Vice President Kamala Harris, who had a very interesting week to say the least. As we already know, Joe Biden decided to tap Kamala Harris to fix the situation at the border. So to do this, Kamala Harris decided to go to the source of the problem, not the border between the United States and Mexico, but to Guatemala. This is because people from Guatemala are going into Mexico, where they then decide to go into the United States. As during Trump's presidency and also the very beginning of the Joe Biden presidency, we have seen different caravans of Guatemalan immigrants coming into our country. The goal is to stop these immigrants from coming over and ending the crisis. The goal is a lot different than the messaging that the Joe Biden administration has put out there, as they've been saying from the very beginning that they were going to help immigrants and they were going to bring love and unity to the border. And they were also going to stop deportations of different people, which meant that if you came across the border, then you won't be deported, meaning that more people will want to come over. And we also know that when Joe Biden came into office, he quickly got rid of Donald Trump's immigration reforms, which helped lower the number of migrants coming into our country. This has led the people and the president of Guatemala to be very upset, and they are blaming the Biden administration for the border crisis that is happening there as well, as Guatemala has people that are coming from their border trying to get into Guatemala so then they could go into Mexico and then go to the United States. So when Kamala Harris actually went to Guatemala, she was in for a rude awakening, as there were people lined up and down the street with signs saying Trump won and go home. One of my personally favorite signs read, "Kamala Harris, mind your own business." All of these signs could be read by Kamala Harris as she was going to go visit the president of Guatemala, who said that he is not on Kamala Harris's side, as he recently said in a statement, "The Biden administration is responsible for starting the current immigration crisis," adding that he and Harris are not on the same side of the coin on this issue. The point is that the president of Guatemala, along with the people of Guatemala, liked the policies that Donald Trump was putting into place, because it was actually helping to stop these different coyotes from picking up children and taking them across the border. And it also helped reduce human trafficking. This is why the people and the president liked Donald Trump, because he was tough on immigration. Unlike Joe Biden, who probably doesn't even know what's going on at the border. So because of all of this, Kamala Harris decided that she had to be strong and show Guatemala and the rest of the world that she was also tough on immigration. As in a press conference with the president of Guatemala, she said something that I wasn't expecting. Take a listen to this.
At the same time, I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come. The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal methods by which migration can and should occur. But we, as one of our priorities, will discourage illegal migration. And I believe if you come to our border, you will be turned back.
Whoa, 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 wait, hold on just a minute. Wouldn't this seem a little bit racist and also xenophobic if a Republican would have said this? Isn't this also a little bit hypocritical of Kamala Harris, who was very critical of how Donald Trump handled the border crisis? And now we are seeing even more problems from this administration than Donald Trump's administration when it comes to the border? I thought this was the party of unity and love and unity, and that they weren't going to be mean to immigrants, but they were going to love them and help them. They were going to bring families together, not split them apart. Well, because of these comments from Kamala Harris, she is in some hot water, as different immigration rights groups and also policymakers attack Kamala Harris for her comments, claiming that they hurt people who were trying to seek asylum and that she was being inhumane. This was one of the reasons that the progressive wing of the Democratic Party was very, very upset with Kamala Harris, as when this video broke, AOC was on Twitter ready to strike, and strike she did, as AOC claimed that the statement was very disappointing to see. Then AOC went on a rant talking about how asylum is legal and all of this stuff. You can read the tweet yourself because it's long and boring and it's AOC too. But if we are on the topic of seeking asylum, why is it that these people from Guatemala have to seek asylum in the United States? Why can't they just go to Mexico? If only there were a president that had this rule, so then our border wouldn't be rushed all the time. Anyway, the list of people that are not happy with Kamala Harris is getting longer and longer day by day, as we have seen the president of Guatemala, the people of Guatemala, the leftist progressives, of the party, and last but not least, the people at the border that are waiting for her to help fix the situation. That's right, Kamala Harris has not visited the southern border yet, a place where she really needs to go because that's where the heart of the crisis is. It's seriously like if 9/11 happened and George Bush was like, I'm not gonna go down to ground zero or to New York at all. That wouldn't have made any sense, and this doesn't make sense now either. She needs to go down to the border to assess the situation that is happening there. How can she help the people in these detention centers, also known as concentration camps when Trump was president? How can she help out the workers that are working for border security? These are all critical things that can help make the border more secure. It would also help her politically as well, as right now she's looking really, really bad for continuing to ignore this crisis. It also looks like she doesn't care about the border crisis, as whenever she's asked a question about the Mexico border, she just sort of laughs it off. I mean, you remember this moment a few months back when a reporter asked her if she was going down to the southern border, and she was like, not today. Take a listen to this.
Do you have plans to visit the border?
Not today. But I have before, and I'm sure I will again. Yeah.
One more question. Thank you.
It's seriously like she's the Joker. Why is it that she finds a serious situation so funny? Does she understand that there are thousands of migrants coming across the border, including thousands of unoccupied children, which has increased a 20-year high? Some of these children have numbers scratched into their skin so then the Border Patrol knows who to call. And also, sadly, some of these children are involved in human trafficking. Once again, I'm not sure if she understands this, but her laughing fit did come back as she had an interview with Lester Holt where they talked about her recent trip and, of course, the southern border. Just take a listen to this.
Just quickly put a button.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
Well, I mentioned it because I know Republicans have certainly come at you on this, but Democratic Congressman Cuellar has a border district has said to you and the president, come. You need to see this.
Listen, I care about what's happening at the border.
The funniest line here from this interview has to be when she said, I haven't been to Europe. Madam Vice President, with all due respect, we don't have a crisis at the border with Great Britain or France. We have a problem at the Mexican border, which is why she should be down there. And hopefully she will go down very, very soon because people are just going to get more and more angry at her. However, luckily for us, Kamala Harris sort of went to the border thanks to Colorado Representative Lauren Boebert, who decided to take a cardboard cutout of Harris to the border. Kamala had a very tough week, as her ability to handle the border crisis has left her on the struggle bus. The last person on our struggle bus is someone that I didn't actually put on the struggle bus, and I put him on the ground because he was probably high on something when this situation happened. So, new text messages were released from Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden. And well, it was very, very, very strange. Extremely strange. One of the strangest things I've ever seen in a very, very long time. Here, let me read some to you. Biden. Where do you find unconditional love then, George? Lawyer. God loves unconditionally. Beau loves you unconditionally. Children are too young to understand what it means. But you will show them. There are ideas of unconditional love that serve as proxies. I don't have many. You? God? Biden. OMG N-word. Did you just a fictional character from the imagination of the collective frightening and my dead brother's unconditional love is what I should rely on, and my kids aren't children, George? Lawyer. My parents' love was conditional. Biden. My PP as of late has been unconditional. Lawyer. That's why we are searching. Biden. For my PP? Okay, listen, I'm sorry. I can't read this anymore. You're gonna have to look at it on your own because I can't say that anymore. The point is that Hunter Biden is absolutely crazy, okay? He is nuts. As not only did Hunter Biden mention his member multiple times, but he also called his lawyer the N-word multiple times. And his lawyer was a white dude. But nonetheless, Hunter Biden did say the N-word multiple times. So why is it that this is so important? Well, let's just say, for example, that text came out from Donald Trump Jr. As we know from the past, the media has continued to claim that Donald Trump Jr. was racist. And if they had found a text message or an audio recording of him saying the N-word, the media would have lost their collective minds. As there would have been coverage from leftist news sites talking about how racist and terrible Donald Trump Jr. is. Everyone would have known about these different text messages because the media would not stop talking about them. Donald Trump would have probably had to come out and apologize for his son's actions. Now, I will admit that Donald Trump Jr. has said some controversial stuff, but nothing like the N-word. The media should be pushing this story a lot harder, and they should be talking about how terrible it is for a president's son to say such a naughty word like this. But for this time, the president's adult child is off limits. And the media is not scared to call people out for saying this word. As the New York Times a few years back wrote a 2,500 word essay on a high school student that said the exact same word. The kid had to drop out of college because someone leaked his name. Along with this, there was a white woman that was called up on stage by Kendrick Lamar at one of his concerts, and he encouraged her to sing his lyrics. Some of those lyrics included the N-word. The girl said them as they were in the lyrics. Kendrick Lamar stopped her, the crowd booed her, and it was just a terrible situation. Now, I'm not trying to defend these people in any way, as I personally believe that the N-word is a terrible word and that it should not be spoken by anyone, including me. Instead, what I am saying is that it is hypocritical for the media to attack these people and then to completely ignore the president's son saying the exact same word. The reality is that Hunter Biden will be fine, as the media will definitely just sweep this right underneath the rug, along with the story of his laptop in Delaware. Hunter Biden will be able to go across the world and soak up money after he says that he is Joe Biden's son. He will be able to smoke crack anytime that he wants. He will be able to have a prostitute in his house every single night, and he can even send his lawyer a nude picture of himself. Yes, that actually happened. And luckily, for the sake of my wonderful Christian eyes, I did not have to see that monstrosity, as I believe that it would literally burn my eyes right out of their sockets. For all of these reasons, Hunter Biden is on the struggle bus. In the end, it was a tough week for Joe Biden and his entire crew, as they tried to manage a crazy world. The luckiest thing for this administration is that they have the media on their sides, so they can say whatever they want without any repercussions. Joe Biden can claim that he sometimes forget that he's president. Yes, that was real. And the media can swoop in and say, oh, well, he was just joking. Or they can pivot and talk about how much Joe Biden loves ice cream. Kamala Harris had a terrible week, and the media can come back and say that she is making history by being the first woman of color vice president to go to a foreign country trying to fix the border situation. I will add that when Donald Trump was in office, the media and the Democrats literally called these facilities holding children concentration camps. Now the media is calling them overflow facilities, and they are starting to open up more and more of them, and the media doesn't even seem to care at all. And with Hunter Biden, the best thing that the media can do is just not report on any of his stories at all, and just let them die, because soon everyone will forget about it. No Republican has or ever will get the back massage that the media is giving the Biden administration. So while these three people are on the struggle bus, they actually have it really easy compared to other presidents. And soon, they will be able to get off the struggle bus, to then have another situation happen in the country, which will lead them right back into the bus. And with that, I just want to thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Dockery Docket. And until next time, like my mom always says, be good, be kind, be loving, goodbye.